Hello everybody, you're welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing this beautiful tugho fascinator hat, and let's get straight into the tutorial. First, you're going to need cardboard and a round object, a round shape. So I got my plate, and then after tracing it out, I just went in with my cutter and cut out the circle. So after doing that, I'm going to measure the midpoint, and then I'm going to draw a line from the middle down and measure 0.75 inches on both sides of the line and connect the lines from the middle, from the top, which I'm going to cut out, of course. So after cutting that out, I am later on just going to use hot glue to glue both ends together like that. That is a thin interfacing. I'm going to do the same, cut the same circle, and I'm going to cut my fabric the same way. I'm going to make squares because I need extra fabric from it. So I just put the plate there to guide me the quantity to cut. So I'm going to go in with my plate now and trace out the circle again on my fabric. That's velvet, right? On my velvet fabric. The same thing I did on the cardboard. I'm going to look for the midpoint, mark out 0.75 inches on both sides and connect them, then I cut. I'm going to do the same thing even on the interfacing. So I finished cutting it there. I'm just going to look for a smaller circle, a smaller circular object to make another circle in the middle, and then I just draw in whatever shape you want. It's all up to you. Just draw in whatever designs you want to go with. And then with my HU glue, I'm going to connect the both ends of my velvet fabric. So after doing that, I just get my that's yarn. It's the thin yarn. I just put it here for convenience to help me to work, because the bundle it comes in is not convenient enough for me to work with. So that's why I put it there to help me work. So after putting in, of course, you knot the end of your yarn and then you put it in the fabric. I'm just going to go back with my needle, the same spot, or just next to the spot where I inserted my needle. I'm going to go there, and then I make sure the yarn passes under the needle. Always make sure, because we are doing chain stitches, so you make sure the yarn passes under the needle, just like that. And you want to be careful about your tension. If you make it too tight, it's not going to it's going to make your work to look a little untidy. If you make it too loose, the same thing is going to apply. So you just go back there again, your yarn passes under your needle. The same thing, you put your needle inside the last chain, and just like that, you push your needle in the last chain, you send it out, and the yarn passes under the needle. That's basically what chain stitches are all about. So everything that is going to require chain stitches, I'm going to do the same. You can draw so many designs and just use your chain stitches on it and do the same. So I'm going to do it round. After that, I do the middle circle as well. So I'll show you how I ended it. The same thing, that's the second to the last chain. And then now we go to the last chain. The same thing, you put your needle in the last chain you are working with, and then put it in like very close to the end of the first chain, like that. Yarn passes under the needle, of course, and there you go. And then you put your needle after, not inside the chain anymore, not inside the chain, out of the chain. And you send it to the back, and then you make a knot. That's basically what chain stitches are all about. I think this is the only name of the stitch I know, chain stitch. I don't know the rest. I just looked at pictures and tried to imagine how to do it, and then I just went ahead. Yep, I'm just trying to make a knot right there to just secure the yarn at the back of the fabric. Yep, I'm done there, and then I'm going to go in my yellow yarn as well for the middle, and then I will use my green yarn to border the red yarns as well, the red chain stitches. So you draw whatever design you want and just go ahead. So I'm done, and I just went ahead to draw some pyramids. Are those pyramids or V's or whatever to help me, or triangles to help guide me in this next one. I'm going to be doing V's, like little V's. See, I don't know how you want to do it. I'm not sure I even know how to explain this. Like after I put my yarn from the bottom, I just went up slightly, like to make a diagonal line. You know how to write a V, right? Upside down V. I made a diagonal line, and then I came back from the bottom again. I made sure both lines should be diagonal. They meet at the top. I'm not really sure how to explain this, but just know you're making V's. So from the triangles I have drawn there, those are just guidelines to help me. So you see, that's the first V. So I'm going to make 4 V's at the bottom. You see, it goes up as a triangle or pyramid. It starts big and gets smaller. So I'm going to make 4 V's at the bottom, and then 3 V's, 2 V's, and at the end 1. So that's basically the process. I'm really trying to explain this, but I really do not know how to say it. You see that basically you're making 2 diagonal lines, one slanted to the left, the other one slanted to the right, meeting at the top to form an upside down V or a triangle if you have it like that. See, there you go. Again, I go up there slanting, and I slant my needle. Just like that. You're going to keep going like that. Until you have 4 V's at the bottom. Again, be very careful about the tension. If you make it too tight, the whole thing is just going to bundle up and it's not going to look nice. Okay, I'm going to the second column now, or the second row rather. So because I have 4 V's at the bottom, in the second row I'm going to have 3. See, I put my thread in the same hole, so it just came out, just popped out when I came back from there. And it popped out again. Sorry, that last V did not want to sit still. stay still. Now I'm going to put my needle in the middle. That's between the two. At the top will be between the two last V's, and then the needle comes out at the top of the other V. See? And then I go back to the middle there, midpoint. And then I still send it. Yep, you see that? I go back to the midpoint there, and then I still make it come out at the top of that second V again. Yeah, so we're just going to continue like that until we go to the top where we do the last V, the single V. So we start 4 V's, 3 V's, 2 V's, and 1 V. Upside down, of course. So there you go. We have the little pyramid. So I'm just going to do that all around. Wow, beautiful. Now I've ironed my interfacing on the other fabric, and I'm just going to cut it in the middle and just try to cut it out the fabric, and use my UHU glue to glue both the fabric on the interfacing. I nudge the fabric and then UHU glue again, and then I glue it down. I glue the fabric on the interfacing, just like that. After which I'm going to glue both ends. I'm going to glue both ends of the should I say fabric again? Both ends now. Okay. So it gives me kind of a curve. Now I'm going to go with you see the midpoints of those two. I use my hot glue and glue the 2 points together. I'm sorry it did not show, I missed the footage. And then I'm just going to nudge it and use my hot glue again to make sure I pull it and it's firm enough, and I stick it to the cardboard. Remember, I used the 2 midpoints I glued the midpoint of the fabric to the midpoint of the cardboard, and there you go. I glue the midpoint of the cardboard and the midpoint of the interfacing now, and use my UHU to glue them down, and then my headband, hot glue. Yep. And then I have my little feather. I just pin it there. You could go without the feathers. Yep. And it's so beautiful. Thanks for coming, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please love, because I'm coming with the video for the dress. That's the next video I'll be uploading. Thank you, guys. Subscribe, like, comment. Bye.